Welcome to the Betrayal Trauma Recovery Bookshelf, a space for women healing from betrayal to reconnect with their mind, body, and soul, one page at a time. I'm Rachel Strong Smith, a betrayal trauma coach who's walked this path myself. In each episode, we'll explore books that speak to the heart of recovery, books that validate your experience, offer insight, and remind you that you're not alone. This isn't about fixing yourself. It's about coming home to yourself. So, whether you're in the thick of survival or finding your way back to solid ground, pull up a chair. You're in the right place. Okay, we're back. We're back here talking with Molly Davis Moon. By the way, I love your new last name so much.
Thank you. It was scary, but it was my 50th birthday present to myself. And you know what's funny? Because, I'm the boundaries person and don't worry about keeping the people pleased. And that's literally my thought, like, oh my gosh, what will people say? And I'm like, Molly, 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 just do it. So it's fun.
Because you wanted it,
It
and
was
it
going to be the
represents
name.
you.
It was going to be the name on the book. And I thought, man, I wish I could go ahead and make that legal. But, that's getting a little weird. And it's so silly the ways in which we've been told you're supposed to be a proper human. Everyone has different rules that are given to them. And then I thought, also, though, I'm turning 50. I don't care. It's time.
I love that. So you got it even legally, officially.
Yep. Yep.
That is even the
Yep.
best. Oh
It's
my
so cool.
gosh. That's amazing. Well, for those of you just tuning in, we are talking to Molly Davis Moon about her new book, The Great All. Let me read the subtitle. I've got it here. A Parable of Hope, New Beginnings, and You. So I hope you've tuned in to part one. We are continuing our conversation, and literally, we could probably do 10 parts. I'm already feeling it, but we'll just go as far as we can go. Let's talk about empowering the compassionate a little bit more. So, you talk about, empowering the compassionate people to rise into their power. What does empowered compassion actually look like in everyday life? And what kind of can get in the way?
Oh, it's such a good question. I think to me, compassion is a core quality of being a human. I know not everybody has compassion, but in my mind, it's just because it's literally buried under layers and layers of gunk.
Yeah.
Sometimes even trauma from the epigenetics of trauma. Sometimes, there's gunk 3 or 4 generations back that your ancestors went through. It's fair gunk, in other words. It's not like you asked for it. Living in this world is really messy and confusing. Some people are raised in really loving homes, and some people, you don't even know how are you even standing as an adult with everything that you went through. So there's layers and layers of conditioning, trauma, hurt, pain that almost everybody we see is living. The way someone shows up is often more related to the personality developed because of those layers of gunk than it is actually their true shine, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
In
Mm-hmm.
my mind, I think of the whole entire healing journey, which that includes trauma work, that includes counseling, coaching, the self-help books, the breath work, the whatever it is you like to do, meditation, walking, whatever it is that is part of each of our individual healing journeys. It's cleaning off the gunk. And boundaries work very much for me is like that was a gunk layer that I kept seeing like this needs cleaned off too. And who's doing this? And that's why I ended up going into that direction to help with that layer of gunk. You work in a layer of gunk that's so important because betrayal trauma is bad. Like betrayal trauma is such a multi-layered level of trauma because
Mm-hmm.
it's it's a complex one. It takes a while to be vulnerable and trust again when that's the very thing that was wounded.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So to me, when there are these humans who, despite it all, still have access to their compassion. they came into this world with a whole bunch of empathy, or sometimes it's not empathy, it's just a high degree of responsibility taking, which is actually a really great trait, by the way, when once we have our boundaries to know when and where to
Mm-hmm.
take responsibility. It's amazing. Or I notice a lot of compassionate people are highly conscientious. Like we're the type of people who want to do the right thing when no one's looking. When it
Yeah.
doesn't, it's not for show. It's actually, I want to do the right thing. And in fact, most of us, to prove that, I don't know how many, if you've had this experience, I bet you have, Rachel, and probably many of the listeners. Have you ever been up at night at 1 a.m. or 3 a.m. going, I can't believe I said that thing to that person, and oh, I should have done that this way. Wasn't right. It could have been kinder, or we're conscientious, and we really want to be love in this world. Well, when we're not when we're covered up with a whole bunch of gunk, compassionate people have been honestly programmed to be small, to not take up
Yeah.
space, to don't use your voice, keep the people pleased. The codependent relationship symptoms are, we're full of them. I
Mm-hmm.
remember reading the
Mm-hmm.
book Codependent No More when I first read it, and I'm like, sometime in my early 30s, I think, and oh, that book hurt me so bad because I'm like, this is how I was trained to be a woman in a
Yes.
relationship. Like this is
Yep.
literally what I was told was good.
Total programming. Yep.
Yeah, it was,
Yep.
and I'm like, this book, I'm underlining, like, might as well just underline every last sentence in this book because
Yes.
it was kind of a beginning to me in seeing well, if I, for example, use codependency as an example, if I have been trained to be codependent in my relationships, I am so disempowered, and I don't even know what my power would look like. And not only that, it's even worse. I think moving in my power would be bad.
Ooh, there it is, right there. Yes. I think, and for me, that phrase was, it's mean.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
This would be unkind. This would be mean.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong.
Mm-hmm.
There's immediate guilt. Oh, I don't want to be mean.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to be mean.
Don't want to be mean. And that was a core value, but it got taken advantage of. And
Yep,
then I got that program of like, if I had a boundary and somebody had feelings about that, that was me being mean. So the deprogramming for me looked like, okay, it's actually okay if somebody has feelings. Like I care that they have feelings. But if I'm working in alignment and in my values and maintaining
yep,
my boundaries, and somebody is having emotional reaction to that, that really is theirs. And that's
exactly.
honoring to honor that it's theirs. I don't
Exactly.
want to reach over in there and try to take theirs away.
So good. And actually, and just to go with what you're saying, if I am reaching over there to try to mitigate their discomfort, I'm actually getting in the way of whatever lesson they could be learning from the discomfort.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
they need to learn that when you do this, humans move away from you. That is
Yep.
not a pro-human, a pro-relational behavior. So, and then the behavioral response to it of backing up or putting some limits or setting boundaries or however you want to, that is actually information for them. Now, some people who want to be a healthier person, they're going to listen to that. It's going to hurt. They're going to listen
Mhm.
and they're going to change. And there
Mhm.
are amazing stories of, for example, marriages where betrayal happened and they're really, really happy 20 years later. They
Mhm.
walked a really hard healing path to get there. It wasn't fun for 5 years there, but they did
Mhm.
it because somebody was somebody had enough health in them to go, oh God, and
Mhm.
own it and do the work necessary to change their own character. It can
Do
happen.
the work necessary.
But
Yep.
does it
And
happen very often? No. Often,
mm,
as you well know, people say, "Oh, I'll change, I'll change, I'll
yeah.
change." That'll never happen again. And they might even do some work to change their character for a month. They
Yeah.
might go to a counseling session or read a book.
Mhm.
But if you step back, and look from afar, what's the trajectory of this work? It's usually like enough work to get you to come back or to stop. Yeah, you know this.
And there's, oh no, keep going. I'm like, just like,
Yeah.
yes.
I'm
Yes,
watching
that
your face. I'm like,
breadcrumbing. I know.
take it.
I'm like, yes. And I want everyone to hear it all the time.
Yeah,
But
because it's
yes,
true,
it's
right?
that breadcrumbing and it's the like, oh, and here it is in the compassionate heart. Oh, they are they're trained. Okay, they're doing it. They're doing it. And it's like, that's why we
Exactly.
really look at the consistency over time. And ultimately, it is about trusting yourself to sense the energy, to feel
100%.
what is really energetically happening, not just the words, not just sporadic actions, but energetically inside your own
Mm.
body.
Ooh, 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 yes.
Mhm.
Our head is going to have, I don't know about you, but this is what happened for me. My head had a dream for the relationship. And it was a good dream, side note. It
It's a
was a
great
very
dream.
good dream. And it could have happened.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
potential, it was a possibility. If in a choose your own adventure book, page 36 could have been chosen.
Yep.
But the thing is about choose your own adventure books is each person has one
Yeah.
and they get to turn to the page they want to. And as we become aligned with our true boundaries, we realize I can't make someone read the Choose Your Own Adventure book the way I think they should. My job's to do my life, their job's to do their life. And if they pick page 46 and take their story, I don't know if you ever read those Choose Your Own Adventure books
Oh,
as
I
a kid,
love
but
those so
okay, good.
much. Yes.
Um, they if they take, and that was such a powerful lesson, if they pick page 46, then after that, they're going to go to another page. They're on a different life at that point. They're not, the dream is now a lie. It's no longer a potential, it's now a lie. And this is where, again, there's no disrespect to the head, but this is where if we have been taught, like most of us are in dominant Western culture, that our head is supposed to be in charge, our head hangs on to that dream. It's like, no, I
Mm-hmm.
can't. I know it. It feels like faith. I think that's why I think it's why it's so tricky. It feels good and like faith. And isn't faith good? And faith, hope, and trust.
Yep.
Isn't that great? Isn't that what
Yep.
you're supposed to do in a
Mm.
relationship? And so it mimics something so close to the truth that it's really easy to lock in on it. I find that's where our loyalty gets turned toxic on us. But
Mhm.
if we when we go down into our heart and ask your heart, the heart's like, I remember for me one time, oh, it was so painful. I cried and cried and
Mm.
cried. Now looking back, I'm like, duh, it was like that for like 5 years before you saw it, Molly. But I mean, I say that with love. That Molly then was doing the best she could, but
Mhm.
it's I remember one time my heart showing me like dragging around the relationship, almost like dragging around a dead body that, and it's kind of gross,
Yeah.
but like a decomposing, decaying body that I'm chained to, that I'm dragging around. That's the living relationship that I was working for. It's dead. It's been dead. There's no life in it. It stinks, actually. It is
Mhm.
robbing me of my energy. But as long as I stay up here connected to the dream, I'm going to stay chained to this decomposing thing that really needs to be put in the ground and released.
I love that visual. It's really intense and really true. Like that is what it
Yeah.
feels like. And that's actually in my coaching, that's our very first process is
Ooh,
coming to drop into the body little by little, like not like I always say, we're not diving into the trauma soup. We're doing it
right.
little by little. Just take it,
Yeah.
and start to come, okay, what does your body feel? What's happening? What are the sensations, right? Slowly, very slowly. This is not a cognitive experience. This
So
is
cool.
embodiment because until that is starting to get connected, there's no way you even
Yeah.
acknowledge dragging the dead body. And sometimes we can even use that analogy and go up to here and be like, well, I should cut that dead body off. And it's like
So
you're
true.
never you're never going to when you don't really embody, you don't see, you don't smell, you don't feel it.
Yeah.
How in the world will you ever decide to close that, shut it off or
I
let
love
go or
that.
bury it? That's the
100%.
foundation work.
I love that, Rachel, because it also gives the foundation work, and I know you know this, but it also gives the foundation work to know how to access the strength to leave when and if it's time to leave, because that
There.
might not be there for a while. There might be a knowing,
Yep.
but there might not be the ability to actually pull that off, not even just
Yep.
safety wise, but sometimes nervous system wise. You might be a
Yes.
year out of being able to do anything about this, 5 years out, you know? And again, the solution is right there. We're actually much stronger than we think. We have way more capacity than we know. But number one, not if we're covered in layers of gunk, because we don't have
Mhm.
quick, easy access to our strength. And number two, not if we think this is where we're supposed to lead our lives from. Because the head
Yes.
can be like, okay, I'm going to leave now. And then, yeah,
No.
then you
No.
have your panic attack and you're not going anywhere, you know.
Mhm.
It's scary and
Because
hard to
there's
make.
that integration.
Yes, exactly. The head is a powerful ally in changing one's life. That changing one's life, especially when you've been in a relationship for a long time, it is brutal. It's really hard.
Yeah.
It is a death and
Yep.
then a recovery period back into life again. And the head will be an incredible ally, but it has to be in connection with the heart to
Mm.
do so.
Amen.
Otherwise, it can steer you wrong.
Yep. Amen. And again, that is from embodied practices. It is about experiencing the pain of
Yeah.
life and really seeing them as the messengers that they are. Oh. Okay,
I
let's
don't even
go
know if I
on to
answered the
the
question,
next
but
question. I am just with it 100% here.
good. Phew.
Oh, let's see, I'm going to kind of jump around in our questions. Okay. So, how about you tell me there's rewriting the internal story or personal transformation connecting to collective transformation?
Mm. Oh yeah, I
Which
would
of
love to.
those?
Um, I don't know if there's even really a picture that will do this justice. There's kind of a picture
Mm.
of the collective. You have to get the book to know what this is talking
I
about.
know.
But
You see the video, you can see it.
in that was so fun. Um, in I think all of us, we look at the world and we're like, oh, is it going to be a lot of work to change this? And as an individual, I mean, my first thought is it's so silly to think you could have any impact on this world. You're like
Mm.
one little human. You are like, that's like a grain of sand being like, I'm going to change the world, from like, no, you're a grain of sand. You make the beach. Um, and so I think a lot of us as compassionate people we can be really connected to humility or humbleness, which is really great. And also,
Mhm.
as we de-gunk and find ourselves and come into our fullness, we also find our power. And there's a very important balance between our humility and our power. To me, one of the easiest ways to experience it is to stand out under the stars at night or to like
Mm.
look if you're out in nature and there's this beautiful sunset or sunrise or something like that. Something about standing out under the stars, man, it's like you get to be in this vastness of the universe. These little tiny pinpricks are actually like massive balls of gas that would burn you up if you even came close. You're just like, I am nothing. I am so tiny, and all the things I think that are such big deals, they're really, really silly in the grand scheme of things. This earth, it's been moving and shifting and doing its thing for so long, and here's my little life. I'm literally like the Hebrew scripture, a blade of grass. I'm really important. That's literally the human life, and
Yes.
that is a truth and must be held. And then at the same time, when you're out under the stars, if you stay there long enough, and you start going, "Holy smokes! I can't even believe I'm here! Like, how in the
Mm.
world of all the things like this?" Mighty symphony of a universe. And the like I know science can kind of explain it, but there's like I start going into spiritual language, something like the magic of this. Like, look at this
Yes.
rock. Look at this rock I'm standing on right now. It's like came from a glacier from forever ago. what even made it? And like me and my little blade of grass life, I get to stand here with this rock. Like you can start having an ecstatic experience about everything and realize how with respect to all beliefs, so you either realize how lucky or how blessed you are to be here in this body with eyeballs that can even see the stars, with
Mhm.
like how incredible is it that we even exist? And if I exist, if everything else in nature actually serves the whole by being its full self, why am I not being my full self? Like the rock is being its full
Mhm.
self, and I'm so glad the tree's being its full self.
Mhm.
These stars are being their full selves. They're not like, I hope I don't take up too much space. They're just
Mhm.
singing their song. Then
Mhm.
I, as a Molly, you as a Rachel, listener as whatever each person's name is, like it actually matters that I'm here. It's not a random accident. And my most important mission here is to become fully me and do what it is that is in me to do.
Mhm. Oh, I just, I'm pretty much speechless, is how I'm feeling. I'm in awe. That is, I really resonate with that. And like, even going on in that space of looking at the stars with you, I'm like, oh, yes. And
It's you
even
can
that,
do it in our head,
yes, I'm
right? It's
like,
like,
oh,
good point.
yes. Even that little grain of sand, like I'm thinking about me and I'm like, and I'm gonna be the best grain of sand that I can,
Yes,
you
that's
know?
it. And all those grains of sand actually, so it's so important to know I am just a grain of sand. This is really
Mhm.
nice because I could not carry the whole weight of the world on my shoulders.
No.
I'm just a grain of sand. It gives us our responsibility and our place. And then
Yeah.
also, all those grains of sand just made a beach. They're actually
Yes,
very
together.
powerful.
That's what
They
I
made a
heard when
desert.
you were saying that.
Yeah,
Yes,
the drop
all
is just
together.
one drop in the ocean, but that's
Mhm.
actually what the ocean is, a bunch of drops.
Mhm.
And a bunch of, H2O bonds. It's and if we understand our place as compassionate people, we are all over the globe. We have the qualities. So many people are still working. It's back to betrayal relationships. There are many
Mhm.
people in a relationship with someone who does not yet have compassion. Like
Yeah.
they're not the conscience and empathy are really in infancy form of development. Don't ask me why, I don't know.
Mhm.
It's just not there. And
Yeah.
and yet you have it in spades. Can you imagine what could happen in this world if all the compassionate people shook off the old conditioning and the layers of gunk, did their
Mhm.
healing work? What would happen? We are a movement without even trying to be one. We literally are the change the world needs.
Mhm.
We're just all, I think of it sometimes like we're all asleep under the mud and we just gotta wake up, shower it off. Healing's
Mhm.
easier than you think. Like back to all the way back to what you said in that first episode, Rachel. It's just intense sometimes, but
Yes.
it's not it's not worse than
It's
what we're
not
already living in.
worse. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're living in the mud.
Yeah.
It's not that great.
Yeah.
It's really miserable there. And I promise you, it's
Mhm.
so much better on the other side.
Mhm.
You just got to do something that's going to be uncomfortable for a while. You're not
Yes.
used to showering it off. You don't know what you'll be
Yes.
underneath. Trust us.
There. You
It's
don't
beautiful.
know.
Yes,
Yep, because that's the uncertainty. That's actually what the scariest step is the
so true.
uncertainty. And when I got into my recovery place, I remember standing at the precipice and I was like, I don't have to do this. I don't know what's on the other side. But I took
Chills.
the step
Mm,
and I
got chills
didn't know
everywhere.
what was going to happen. And now I look back, I know what happened, and it is the greatest thing that I've ever experienced.
I love that so much, Rachel. I thought the same thing. I thought I was actually worthless. I really, really, truly believed because that's what it seemed like with all the gunk in the way. And
Yeah.
I remember that same thing. Like, I might find out that it's true. I might find out that I'm not lovable and I don't have worth. I might actually find that out. And there's some moment in time where you're like, yeah, well, then I'll know it's true. Because right now I'm just acting like it's true,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't actually know. And what if it's not? I'm never going to find out that it's not if I don't at least
Yeah.
try. Worst case scenario, I'm going to just confirm that I should keep living exactly how I'm living. Okay. I mean, is that really
Yeah.
that bad?
Yeah.
Validation.
Yeah. Okay. Now I could, yes. And it is,
Yeah, I
it's
guess.
kind of acknowledging that uncertainty and saying, yeah, okay, I'm willing to find out. I'm willing to
Yeah.
go through this uncertainty to find what's on the other side.
Because we're afraid to find it because we're like, what if it really is as bad as I think? And I
Yeah.
think we fail to realize you already think that. Like that's how you're already living. So it just would mean nothing would change and you'd have security in your in your terribleness. I don't know. It's not going to
Yeah.
make you live any different. But the truth is, and this is why you exist, and this is why I exist, this is why all the healers are here. And this is why the healers have to do their own internal work. If healers,
Mm-hmm.
you can't take anyone to where you haven't
Nope.
been. Healers have got to clean up themselves. We have got to
Yeah.
de-gunk, and we've got to be always de-gunking. Because
Always.
yeah, because otherwise our ego gets in or whatever, our own
Mhm.
insecurities get in.
I can fix everybody.
Yeah, exactly. I can fix everyone, or ooh, I'm doing it really well. That must mean I'm
I
great.
know.
Or like, who am I to say this? I don't want to actually put myself out there.
Hmm.
There's hard work being a healer. You have to put yourself out there, and that is not fun. I don't like that.
Hmm.
Um, I know you know what I mean. When we do our own work, I cried and cried and cried when I first began to see myself. Like, I mean, cried and cried like a snot disaster, did not look good at all. Um, Not that I cared, but because I was so beautiful and I did not expect that. I was ready to see the shit. And it was like, and I kept, when you're like working through the layers, you're like, yep, more bullshit, more bullshit. And you're like, when I get to the center, that's probably what it is, the smelliest turd of all. And you're just kind of like, you're willing. You have to be willing. I don't know what's there. I'm going to find out. And when you get there and a, it's just love. It's just light. You're like,
Right.
what? That's
Yeah.
my true essence. And all my job is in this world is just keep coming home to that and then do what I'm here to do. Like it could be that easy. This has been really hard. I was ready for it to get way hard.
Oh, yes, that
And you too.
analogy. Yes,
You
that is it.
you are shining with light. And I think when we begin to see that in ourselves, we begin to see that in other people. And that's our job, I think, in many ways as healers, is to hold. Not trying to convince anyone else of it.
Mm-mm.
Nobody will see it till they're ready, but I
Yeah,
know who you
I
are
know.
at your essence. And I'm holding that. I'll believe it until you know how to believe it. I just know
Yeah,
it. I don't have to
I
convince
just
you.
know
I
it.
just know it. And I'm going to treat you that way.
Yes. Oh, that reminds me of a poem. I won't say it exactly, and I never know who to reference it to, but the greatest fear that we have is not the darkness, but the light that is inside of us. Who am I to be beautiful? Who am I to be successful? Who am I to be
So true.
amazing? You know?
So true.
And
That's that
that
shadow
is,
work. You talked about the shadow
yeah.
work earlier. Our shadow is often actually that. We're like, "Oh, I don't want to look at my shadow. It's going to be terrible." Yeah, your shadow is actually probably going, I don't want to be great. What if I am? What would
Yeah.
it mean? I'm afraid. We got to stay small. Shadow just needs a big hug and some tea. And it's actually an
Yes.
amazing part of you that is great. And when you bring it out into the light, you'll see
Oh,
it.
you'll see
But
it.
we've divorced
Oh,
ourselves. They're shadows because we divorced ourselves from all of those strengths that we have that don't necessarily keep the people pleased. That might make you,
yeah.
for example, I don't know, this happened to me. I got rid of the parts of me that would make me think about my own rights and my own comfort. Because if I brought those in, I'm
Yep.
not going to stay in this relationship.
Yep.
This relationship won't work if I need to exist too in it. That was my shadow.
Yeah.
And I'm so afraid of seeing it and like, wait, what? Power and worth? You're my shadow? What?
Yes, and it's that reintegration, bringing it back, allowing, letting go, surrendering, letting go of those outcomes, and only embracing your true self. Mm,
Preach. Mm,
Oh
mm, mm.
man. Okay, let's finish up with my last question.
Did we make it through like three questions?
I know. I know. But do you know what? This discussion, like, seriously, is just gold.
That fills
And
my
I
heart.
am
Yeah.
so honored to be here.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
Mm,
It's fun.
mm. Okay. So, where can our readers find the book and when will it be released?
So happy about this book. Okay. So actually I found out that I mean when the book's coming out February 24th. And
Yes.
so it should be in a lot of little bookstores and big bookstores.
Oh,
That's what I'm told. So exciting.
so
I'm actually
excited.
going on a book tour, which I don't know what that means because coming from Alaska, I've literally never been to a book signing. I don't know what a book tour is, but I guess you speak and then you sign books. And so I might be coming through somewhere in the United States at least.
Somewhere.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, so probably the best place to get quick access is boundaried.com. That's boundaried with a D.com. And I put the link to the book somewhere in the menu because right now, I guess, if somebody goes and pre-orders from Amazon, it's super helpful. My publisher told me this. It's super helpful for the algorithm. I guess every time a pre-order
Mm.
is placed in Amazon, Amazon buys three more copies, and also it rises in the
Oh.
algorithm rankings in whatever, I think whatever categories it's in. I saw one category was like children's science and education. I'm like, don't put this in that.
No,
That's
no.
not the category. This is
Not
not
it.
that book. This move it, please. I don't know how these things move, but um it it's in my mind it's a story, but it is a I really think we need new myths and new paradigms, new ways to see ourselves in the world that fill us with hope and empowerment. And that's what this is. So
Mm,
if anybody listening would be so inclined to pre-order, thank you. It's a gift.
mm.
Um, and it will help out, it will help the book move into
Yeah.
wherever it moves into.
Yeah, to get, yes. Oh, and you know what? Speaking of that, myths, needing new myths, this is how humans have shared truths forever, is through
Totally.
story, through myth, through parables, through allegories. And
Yeah.
that because it speaks to our actual soul rather than just our head. Yeah.
100%. Well, yeah, yeah. I was just talking with somebody and talking about, I think in the words of Jesus, the the fruit, like you know them by their fruit. That's a metaphor, right? But
Yeah.
that's a really powerful back to Rich. Notice how I did this. No, this is slick. It was an accident, but I'm
Mhm.
gonna pretend like it wasn't. Speaking of betrayal trauma, in relationships, apply the principle, you will know them by their fruit.
By their
Like you know a
fruits.
fruit tree by
Amen.
what fruit it produces, the product, the
Mm.
final outcomes, the behaviors. And that's such a that metaphor is that's
That,
I use it all the time
yes.
in my head. It's beautiful. It sticks with you. It's not even something you have to think in your head. You just
Yeah, you just
fruit.
know it. It's
What's the
truth.
fruit?
It's truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, do you know what? I love that you bring that up. I'm going to just interject my personal story. That was literally a scripture that I read middle of my betrayal trauma journey. And I was praying and saying, how am I ever going to know? Like it's been 20 years and it's been
Whoa.
hiding and lies and da da da, da, right? So I was trying to learn how to trust myself. And I read the scripture and it was like, boom, you will know them by their fruits. And I was like, okay. And I started to
So
know what the fruits looked like now, you know?
so
Yes.
powerful. It gives me chills. That's so
Mm,
cool.
truth is
Yeah,
truth.
yes, it is. And I think this is a complicated time full of chaos.
Yes.
And it's really easy, I think, for our nervous systems to go into fight, flight, freeze, fawn and just duck and wait for it to be over. And the problem is not to put more fear out there, but the problem is if
Mhm.
all the compassionate people duck and wait for it to be over, guess
Yeah.
what? It's going to have a very different outcome than it needs to
Yeah.
have. If we wake up and do the work and come into alignment with our power, and all of us do the thing that we're called to do. And who knows what that will be? Don't
Who
know.
knows? Yeah.
Be it fine. Let's find out.
Yeah.
As like once you find yourself, it's interesting. It doesn't take long. Sometimes it's 6 months to 5 years out, maybe. Once you find
Mhm.
yourself, you are literally told what to do in the weirdest of ways. You can't not, like, you probably couldn't not do
I
what you're doing
couldn't
right now.
not. Yep, it
Yeah.
was 100% that. It was, I woke up and it was like, this is what you're doing next. And I was like, oh, okay.
Whoa,
And
Rachel,
I
that's so
couldn't
cool.
not. Yep.
It's like a
I
magnet.
never
You're
imagined
suddenly,
myself in this space. Yep.
yes, that's exactly it. It's you can't even plan this stuff. You come home to yourself, and when it's time, it's like a magnet
Yeah.
in your heart that you're like, I don't know. I guess I'm doing this. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it does make sense, kind of, but often only
Mm-hmm.
later. You just have to do it.
Yes. Yes.
Like I'm like, I don't even
I
know.
know.
Will it even work? I don't know. I'm doing it
No,
because
I'm
I can't
doing
not.
it.
And
Yep.
if all of us as we wake up align, and when that magnet hits, that's when it's going to be like boop 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 boop. That's when the
Yep.
ripple effect. If you think of when a caterpillar becomes a butterfly, it's actually a caterpillar for a long time, up to 100 iterations of shedding its skin. So it changes, but it doesn't change. It still stays a
Mm-hmm.
caterpillar. And there's this moment in time when a chemical signal goes through the whole body and says it's time, like we were talking about before. And at that moment, everything changes. And we are those chemical signals in this body. We are the cells. I know I'm like I'm supposed to be a catalyst. I'm like, I'm a chemical. Okay, thanks. I know I'm supposed to be that. And there's many of us doing that, like wake up, wake up, wake up. And there's others who are supposed to be like the whole body shifts, and it happens actually in
Yeah.
super speed. And when you think about in human history, 30 years of human history is super speed. That is a radically fast
Mm-hmm.
shift. That's what we're in. We have begun this right now. So our embodying the change is incredibly important. It's what tips others. So one of us changes, and how many more do we impact? How many people are you
Yes.
impacting? And you can't not.
Who
You just
even
accidentally
knows?
do it.
Yeah. You just,
Yeah,
yeah,
it just
just
and then they
by
tip.
existing. Mm-hmm.
It
In my
won't be
power.
long. Yes,
Yep.
existing in your power. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's not always easy to exist in your power. The old ways
No.
are always there. Like, are you sure you should do that? I literally have a
I know.
nonstop. Yeah. This is a terrible idea. Who do you think you are? And it's actually getting
I'm
quieter
so
and quieter. Yeah.
scared. Uh-huh.
Terror. Absolute terror.
Uh-huh.
And do it anyways. Is this what the magnet says? Do it and be safe, but
Yes.
do it.
Yes, because it's not reactionary. It's not, I kind of say it's not an overcompensation or an undercompensation. It simply is. And it's like, okay. And when that fear comes, I'm like, oh, hello, fear. How's it going? And I have a relationship
Exactly.
with that part. And we talk, and it's like, yeah. And really, what is the fear thing? Because, like, I don't know what's going to happen. And it's like, you're right. I don't either. So,
Exactly. That's fair.
that's totally fair. Yep. Do we feel right about this? Do we feel aligned? Is it matching with our values? Are we in alignment here?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, then let's keep going.
I love it. And it will take care of our nervous system on the way. Like, okay, I'll be extra gentle to you. This is hard. I get
Mm-hmm.
it, nervous system. You have not had this happen before. In how many generations has it
Yes.
not been safe for humans to step in their power? A lot.
Ooh, a
So we're doing a
lot.
new thing. Like,
Yeah.
we might need a little extra tender love and care, but we're going to do the new thing.
Yep.
And that's
Okay, what new projects are coming up for you? I can't wait
um
to see what you do.
you just never know around here, but a couple. I have a well, I'm so excited about the Great All. There's a boundaries book in utero. I'm not promising on that, but I
Mm-hmm.
feel it. It's starting to come into form.
Feel it stirring. Yeah.
Um, and then actually, I have a music project I'm really excited about that's kind of a little off what I thought I was going to do, but it has been so strong for about 6 months that yeah, I think I'm going to do that on the
Gonna
side
lean
and
into that.
see where that goes. Yeah, exactly. I feel like I was like, did I just make that up? Because that would be really fun. And I don't know if that's something I'm supposed to do. And it just keeps coming in real strong. So I'm kind of excited. I don't know if it's a year out, 2 years out, 3 years out. that's how the Boundaries program began. That's how this book began.
Mm.
Just this really amazing idea that I literally couldn't imagine doing. And then later they were done. So I'm kind of feeling like that about the music. Well, that'll be interesting. I wonder how that's going to happen. But I think it's
Wow.
going to happen.
I love that because what you're noticing is that the process, you're starting to become familiar with that process of becoming. Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's way less terror. Who knew? I
Mm-hmm.
think terror with a capital T was like
Mm-hmm.
ever present, even just in making boundary cartoons. That nearly killed me.
Mm.
I'm like getting better at this. I'm like, okay, we might do something really weird. This could be really fun. Let's find out. I
Yeah.
need I need some really amazing musicians that feel a kind of a call or a pull to be part of this project. And I think it's going to be incredible. But
Mm.
I just gotta wait for the
Can,
people.
yes.
Um,
Can I just tell you, I write music.
what? Why am I not surprised, Rachel? That's so cool.
Yep. So if the
I
wind
meant to.
blows.
Exactly. I think it's
Yeah.
time for. There's a big call, I think, for the creatives. Like what
Yeah.
you were saying, there's a change is needed, and the technical analytical people, of course, are part of that. But we also need the people to tell and sing and show new stories so that the humans can begin to imagine what's possible for us. And then the technical, analytical, structural systems people can go, okay, yes, please, let's make
Mm-hmm.
this. But we can't
Mm.
make what we can't even imagine.
Oh, yes. Well, I love that. And it's the only way we can get into imagination is to become embodied in our true selves. Mm. Oh man. Okay, on that note, Molly,
Thank you.
thank you so much for being here. I
This was
really
a
appreciate this.
really, really fun. Um, yeah, it could go on forever. So thank you so much, Rachel, for being someone that's so easy to dive right into deep things with. Um, yeah, it's really fun to talk with you. And thank you to
Mm.
the listeners too. It was nice to meet you.
Yes. Oh, well, and thank you all for being here. And I hope you get a chance to look at Molly's book. It's an easy read. That's what I like about it too, is that it's not so head heavy. It's going to be this, really a book you can read a lot to really make sense of what's happening in your present situation.
100%. Yep. Yay.
Mhm. Yay. Thanks for joining me today on the Betrayal Trauma Recovery Bookshelf. If something from this episode spoke to you, share it with a friend or come connect with me online. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Rachel Strong Smith. And if you want to go deeper, sign up for my email newsletter, where I share grounded support, personal insights, and practical tools to help you reconnect with yourself. Remember, healing isn't a straight line, it's a spiral, and every step towards yourself matters. So, until next time, take gentle care.